In this video, I'm going to show you another video, a short one, that was the first video I ever posted on YouTube going on 20 years ago. It presents life-changing information for almost anyone who struggles with chronic stiffness or pain, especially if you've tried a whole lot of remedies and treatments, or you're worried about gradually worsening posture as you age. This video visually makes the case for how key our skeletal alignment is to freeing yourself from discomfort, pain, and aging sooner and faster than anyone needs to. For some reason, this has been widely overlooked and misunderstood in the fields of medicine and pain management and sports and fitness and most wellness practices today. I know, this sounds like a wildly bold claim, especially coming from someone like me, a substantially older woman who basically gave up stretching and working out decades ago. I have, however, remained physically active while moving my body in ways that match the way all healthy, well-developing babies and toddlers move all over the world. Because this is the innate human design, as you will see for yourself in a moment. And I'd be crazy to be saying any of this if it were not for the fact that we collectively, as a modern-day society, have missed this one essential element in our understanding of the role of the human skeleton. And that means the bones in the body are intended to arrange themselves in a very prescribed way in relationship to the vertical axis of gravity. So the making of this video that I'm about to show you was a joint project with my then teenage son, quite soon after YouTube had just come on the scene. My always enterprising son was teaching himself this new thing called making videos. And I proposed that he could create a video about what I was now teaching that had completely transformed my life, from one of stiffness and chronic pain to no more pain and far greater, genuine, authentic flexibility than I'd ever experienced as a yoga teacher. I would provide the narration and images while my son would do all the heavy lifting with his new video skills. So previously, I'd had the opportunity to travel to places in the world where I'd encountered many people who still inhabited their bodies the way they had as babies and toddlers, with a specific shared alignment that conformed to natural laws of physics. These people perfectly illustrated what I had been so fortunate to have learned when I was introduced by Jean Couch to basic, simple principles that had been originally described and passed down by the now late Noël Perez of Paris, France. Before this, when I was a yoga teacher and massage therapist, I kept it secret that I had developed a lot of chronic pain in spite of extensive training. I felt hypocritical and embarrassed for anyone to know that I was struggling with some of the same pain issues that people were coming to me to help them resolve. And quite honestly, I worried about the viability of my livelihood. But fast forward, and here I am, over 30 years later, pretty soon to turn 80, and I'm still pain-free and far more easily flexible than when I was in my 20s and 30s, actually up until I learned this when I was 47. And since then, I've written books about this, relating to both adults and children. I've taught classes and workshops to a whole lot of people, and I created a self-study online course. So here's the video, Bone Deep Strength, which does a good job of illustrating the natural alignment in a way that is quirky and engaging. And stick around when it's done, because I'll have a few more things to say that elaborate on some of these concepts. So enjoy. What if some of our most basic assumptions about health and fitness are mistaken? What if so much of what you are doing to be strong and flexible is hurting your health in the long run?
This woman's strength is truly bone deep. She doesn't need muscle strength to carry these rocks, because naturally aligned bones are doing the work. This man, were he to try carrying rocks on his head, would have to use straining muscles to do this, since he can't rely on aligned bones to help him. His strength is superficial and temporary, and will last only as long as he continues to work at it, over and over again. Our culture's emphasis on sculpted muscles and rock-hard abs may have come about from our having forgotten along the way how to inhabit our bodies as intended by our design. As young children learning how to walk, no matter where in the world we are born, each one of us has to find the central axis, or plumb line, along which the joints that carry our weight, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder, line up. Although babies don't understand the details of what they're doing, once they have figured out how to stand and walk without falling down, their leg bones serve as vertical pillars. This places the pelvis in the natural position that allows the spine to be a self-supporting structure. This support, whether we are sitting, standing, or bending, is designed to last a lifetime. Throughout history, on every continent in the world, people have carried bricks, rocks, water, food, furniture, just about anything at all on their heads, sometimes day in and day out for decades without developing problems. While it is true that some people who carry heavy loads on their heads do suffer serious damage to the spine, it's not because of what they do, but how they do it. We see countless examples today of people who have never carried loads on their heads, but who have gradually crumbled from a lifetime of not having aligned bones. We think of this shrinking as an inevitable feature of aging, yet examples of people who remain upright and strong bring some of our basic assumptions into question and demonstrate that relying on muscles will eventually fail us, but aligned bones will not. People who age into their 80s and 90s along the plumb line remain vital and flexible. Their spines remain extended, their shoulders relaxed. They have an easy grace and a lightness in their step, and free movement and flexibility in their joints. People who age this way remain physically active long after many of their contemporaries have retired into rocking chairs. Compare these images to those of children today, whose computer and TV-driven lifestyles set them on an early course of collapse. Besides the obvious aches and pains that result from misplaced bones, their vital organs and connective valves and plumbing are compressed, impairing blood flow, breathing, digestion, elimination, and nervous system functions. Just how much of a part do these conditions play in determining their future health and the development of many modern diseases that have become epidemic? No one really knows, because our current beliefs about alignment and good posture are thoroughly misunderstood. Certainly, were we to have the parts of our car engines so out of whack, we wouldn't be surprised if our cars broke down. The fact that this is not being addressed by anyone today, especially within the medical community, represents one of the biggest blind spots in our thinking of what contributes to overall health and true fitness. The human body is governed by the same laws of nature that apply to physics and engineering. An architect designs a house with vertical pillars that are essential to supporting the weight of the physical structure. It's not difficult to imagine the stresses placed on a house when its foundation posts are not absolutely vertical. Welcome to the land of suck and tuck, where as an entire culture we are taught to tuck in the butt, suck in the belly, lift up the chest, and draw the shoulders back. This, we are taught, is the proper way to stand up straight. But is it? In order to stand this way, I must contract many muscles to keep myself held up. Not only does this shorten the back of my spine, squeeze my organs, tighten my diaphragm, and thus affect my breathing, it pulls my leg bones off the vertical line. When I let go of the muscle tension that is holding me up, I collapse, for I don't have aligned bones to support me. In both cases, whether I am collapsed or pulled up, my leg bones are not vertical. Take a look at what happens, even when I'm working to hold myself up, if someone presses on my head, mimicking the effects of gravity over many decades. Like a building without foundational support, I crumble. Notice how different things are when I am supported by vertical legs. Here there can be a relationship between pelvis, ribcage, shoulders, and skull that provides maximum length through the spine. If someone presses on my head now, as hard as he can, I am able to easily withstand the forces of gravity, or rather stand with gravity, not as a victim, but as a partner in natural living. Knowing these facts causes me to change the way I exercise, the way I might practice yoga, lift a heavy box, or bend to tie my shoes. Over time, as I apply this awareness, my body gradually realigns itself. Here's the good news. Just about anyone can relearn, with a bit of practice, how to return to the natural design that brings us into physical alignment with an essential aspect of who we are as human beings. In this way, we become free to be genuinely strong, easily flexible, and comfortably healthy for the full length of our lives.
So there you have it. It's an original antique YouTube video with a smaller screen size. I've been telling this story about our skeletal alignment for quite a while now, so I'm well aware of the objections that some people have about this. The one objection I hear most often is that our skeletons would never be able to hold themselves up without strong enough muscles. And yes, I agree completely. Muscles are that inseparable other half of our body's musculoskeletal system. Without them, we'd be in a lot of trouble and things would not end well. But there are other musculoskeletal helpers as well, our tendons, ligaments, and fascia. They all play important roles in keeping us together. But here's the thing. When we depend on muscle strength to hold us up, we're robbing the other parts of the system of adequately playing their roles as well. Muscles aren't meant to hold us up all day long. Their real job is to move our bones. Think of them like pulleys in a system of pulleys and levers. And for that system to work the way it's designed to, those pulleys have to be elastic. They need to contract and release easily, not stay tight and overworked or weak and out to lunch. Elasticity is their natural state. Meanwhile, the bones, they're the framework. They're what give the body its underlying support, but only when they're aligned. Remember what you saw in the video you just watched? Women and children who carry heavy loads on their heads, walk for miles, bend often, and squat, all with incredible grace and ease. Their secret is a partnership between humans and nature, of which we are all a part. It's the ever-present force within us that reminds us to align so that our bones bear weight easily, muscles move bones freely, and the whole system works together effortlessly. This is what bone-deep strength truly is. The kind of strength that comes not from tension or effort, but from aligned balance. And so, I hope this has opened your eyes to the continuously unfolding benefits for almost anyone learning this, replacing pain and stiffness with comfort and ease while enjoying renewed solid strength and easy mobility and all the good stuff that comes with this. This is a profoundly important message for our times, which is why I'm reviving my neglected YouTube channel to tell about this. And in the days ahead, I'll be sharing what you can do to start reclaiming this human birthright for yourself. There's more information about this right below, and I invite you to subscribe, and please feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts about this or questions you may have. And thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and aloha.